This is going to be my newest concept for the 8-hour diet. I really believe in this diet because here's a good example. Just got off vacation, was 238 pounds. Okay, haven't been 250 for a long time simply because I'm doing the 8-hour diet. I've cut the soda. I've cut all these things, and I have put on a little bit of muscle because I've been doing a special workout, which I'll share that with you guys on here as well. Over 40, probably fixing to be 44, who knows. But just really excited about this diet because it gives you mental, for lack of a better word, mental power. When you know that you can go in and start this thing at 10 o'clock every day, finish it up at 8, and in those parentheses, eat what you need to get by. And I've actually got a new section to it, which I needed to put on my blog, on Blogger, where the first 2 hours of every day, because I'm vegetarian, I get my B12, I get my B6, and I eat items that are going to give that to me. Sometimes I'll do the low carb, and the pounds start to drop. This morning I got up and weighed myself, and I was 235 pounds. And I was straight up 238 pounds after my vacation, which ended Sunday, and today is Thursday. So who can drop 3 pounds in 3 days? I don't know any diet that does that except one where you starve yourself. So this is called 8-hour diet street edition because you got to get down and you got to get dirty on this fat, and you got to watch what's going on. So the first step is to weigh yourself, and weigh yourself in the morning and weigh yourself at night, because when you mentally get around what your body does and what it doesn't, you can take a lot of the frustration out. A lot of people get emotional and they're like, oh my word, I've put on 15 pounds or 10 pounds or even 2 to 5 pounds. And it drives people a little crazy. And I understand why, because when you can't fit in your jeans, you can't put that shirt on, you can't put that item on that makes you look fantastic, you get frustrated. So this is called 8-hour diet street edition because I've been using it for so long now, and my other videos on the 8-hour diet have done so well on YouTube. People they're using it to lose weight. So if you have a story here that's helping you lose weight, go for it, because the comments where people come in and talk about the way I look and all that stuff, it's irrelevant. Don't even hear it, folks. Go in and try this diet and lose weight. So step 1, put nutrients in your body that are going to make you feel good, because you're only eating between 10 and 8. So 12 and 8, 10 and 6. I do 10 and 8. It's really not 8 hours. It's 10 hours, but you can do 10 to 6. Know in your mind around 6 o'clock you're starting to wind down. But the thing is, if you're not eating overnight, your body goes into fast mode, and you start burning that fat off. It's great for diabetes, stroke, heart disease. And my theory is it's because you're burning those extra carbs out of there. You're burning the carbs out. So I've used that as my core. Now I'm adding the vitamins in. I work out still 3 times a week, which I need to do another video and talk about what I learned working out 3 times a week for 3 years, and how I had to change my workout up. What I learned from being a vegetarian and not getting enough B12. What I learned when I started back on meat as opposed to not eating it, which is when I get back off vacation, I don't eat any meat whatsoever. And I love having that mental control to say, I'm not going to eat that. And when you get into that zone with your mind where you can say, I want this or I don't want that, life starts to change, folks. So that's why I've renamed this the 8-hour diet street edition. And I hope you get my meaning. But the first thing is, when you get up in the morning, eat healthy nutrients after 10 o'clock. Sure, your mind's going to tell you, hey, this isn't comfortable, I don't like this. That's because you're burning that fat out of your body. I've been about 233 pounds for over 2 or 3 years now. I was 250 pounds, okay? And you get all that stuff. You feel guilty, and you're like, man, I just went to Applebee's and we tore it up. I had a steak and a baked potato and all this. And when you're looking at that scale and you're 250 pounds, man, don't think your emotions aren't going to dump into your bloodstream and you're going to be like, wow. Get on this diet, and the main thing to take away from it is that mental control to say no. I'm not saying I always say no between 10 and 6 or 12 and 8, but I love the power of beginning to feel that, hey, I don't have to have it if I don't want it. I'm drinking a drink right now. You might be able to see the item there. And I've managed to lose weight drinking one of those, but I did cut out the whipped cream that's all over the top, and I don't have one of those every day, but I was, running by Starbucks, and that arm came out of nowhere and drugged me in the store. Was not my fault. So anyway, feeling really good still about the 8-hour diet. It has stood the test of time. So the first thing in the morning, fill yourself with good nutrients and just focus on that until lunchtime and say, hey, I got this. Maybe throw a snack in there where you eat some cheese or some protein, just to tide you over. Or, at 2 o'clock every day I do a can of tuna. And, try to work out 3 times a week. The cool thing is it gets easier, folks. The more you work out, the easier it gets on your mind. And suddenly the habit is you don't even have to think about it anymore. So that's the way I've done it, keeping 17 pounds off of my body. I was having issues of high blood pressure, maybe some heart palpitations. I was thinking I was going to be pre-diabetic. And the only thing I missed the boat on being a vegetarian is I wasn't getting enough B12. And that changes you a bit, and I'll do a video on that as well. But get out there and lose some weight. 8-hour diet, street edition. Hi, this is Lee, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about a book I've been reading called The 8-Hour Diet. Here's actually what it looks like. A lot of times I like to kind of try diets a little bit and just kind of see what's out there and see what works and see what doesn't work. I've got my Irish tuxedo on today, if you can see it. I've got a beer in each hand here, lots of foam. And this was an interesting diet. I actually did this for a while, drove my wife crazy. She could be insane right now for all we know. But and it's an interesting diet. It's a good book. The writers are very confident that this sort of thing will work for you. And I just wanted to talk about the upsides and kind of the downsides. It does offer a fasting kind of a diet, where after you're finished eating at, say, 6 o'clock at night, you don't eat anything until you wake up the next morning, roughly at about 10 o'clock. So you're not going to eat anything during those hours. And, psychologically, the way our culture is here in the U.S., we are bombarded with advertisements of things to eat, snacks to have, embedded in our TV watching, our Hulu watching, internet, trolling or surfing, and it's a really hard way to go because when you get in this fast, for one, you should lose weight. I lost a few pounds quite rapidly, and it also taught me a little bit about the way I think and my dependence on food. And that's very important to realize that you're an organism that has been programmed, not that you need it, but you've been programmed to eat every 2 or 3 hours. You're the one who decides when you eat, not the other way around. And another thing, one of the downsides the 8-hour diet does not talk about is that you are going to have an amazing headache when you wake up because your body is running off of a fuel that it's not yet used to. You've burned a lot of your carbs already during your sleep. Your body's already on a natural fast. So I got my wife to try this, and man, she started texting me immediately because she stays very busy. She's a preschool teacher, and she had these amazing headaches. And it wasn't from lack of caffeine or anything like that. The book actually, 8-Hour Diet, actually encourages you to have just a cup of black coffee. Because when the carbs are depleted, you start burning other things. You start burning fuel from fat and different things, and that's how you lose weight. It also encourages you to exercise. Say you get up at 6 o'clock, in between that 6 and 10 a.m. period, It gives you a set of exercises you can try. Maybe they're 8 hour in length. I already work out quite a bit, so wasn't too worried about that portion, and I could do some yoga or some different things, stretch out, kind of to get that metabolism burner going. It's a good diet. I mean, you can follow it from Monday through Friday, something like that. The only downsides are some of the headaches are amazing. You're going to see how much you've been entrained to just eat right away or have a cup of coffee right away when you awaken in the morning. That's good for you to learn and good for you to know that how dependent we are on food, maybe more than what we should be, obviously with some of the health reports and different things. So, I want to encourage you to pick this book up. It's definitely a good read. And I'm practicing a portion of it. I can't do the whole fast, but I don't eat anything past 6 o'clock, and my wife makes incredible meals. She's vegan, I'm vegetarian / part-time vegan. I'm lowering the dairy and all the things, something you might consider. But, share this review of this book, like my page, my website, LeeFranksmarketing.com. Not sure what we're going to do there. We might start posting some health stuff. Mostly it's a Branson site. So, but check this book out. It's written by David Zinko, and he's the editor-in-chief of Men's Health. A lot of research went into this book. They actually interview, doctors and different people who've been on this. And there is some fasting involved, so of course, nothing should ever, go in lieu of great medical attention and questions to your doctor and permissions from your doctor to do this. And this video obviously isn't an exchange for that. That's my disclaimer. This isn't an exchange of information that you should probably be talking to your doctor about. Some people on different medications can't fast, and I kind of wish the 8 hour diet would talk a little more about that, but please leave your comments and let me know what you think. If there's a diet you might want to see me try, I'm all for finding the best way to eat. And I'm going to have some stuff on vegetarianism. I haven't had any meat since January the 8th, maybe, of 2013. And there's been some incredible results, so I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Hope you guys are blessed and have a great day.
Good morning, everybody. I wanted to do a video and talk about intermittent fasting, and actually what the techniques of intermittent fasting are, and just share with you some of my own stories and where I think the fat really comes on, and that there's crucial times of the year, that people don't really realize. The weight you put on during the holidays, you could potentially be carrying that weight around all year. And you've got to get on the diet after that in January, when everybody's at the gym and they're there 2 weeks or a month, and they've signed a year contract to get in and work out, and they've got 11 more months of the year that they're not going to be at the gym. So people make great decisions in January, I think, because it's the first of the year, and they've put on this additional weight from the holidays. They know what it is. They've stepped on that scale. Over the holidays, I went up to 251 pounds. I'm now at 243 as of this morning's weigh. And give me another couple of weeks, and I may get back to where I was at after my first 8 hour diet, which I have a lot of videos on that as well. And I always like to do before and afters, because people don't realize 2 or 3 times a year you're putting on about 10 pounds that needs to come off. And so discussing the technique that's in the 8 hour diet, which is intermittent fasting, which is basically creating a time when your body is going to burn fat over carbohydrates, because our food is so chemical and sugar laden, and it affects our internal organs and creates diabetes and heart disease and atherosclerosis and arthritis and joint pain and yada yada yada. Nobody wants to really admit that. So let's dig in and let's talk about what intermittent fasting is and what it's like to be on an intermittent fast diet. And how does intermittent fasting really work? This is my first slide here. And how does it work? Well, you eat, and there's so many versions of this, but there's a guy that eats 4 hours a day. I think 8 hours is the easiest, and once you get used to it, 8 hours starts to look like a really robust amount of time to eat on. So you eat for 8 hours, and then you're off for 16 hours. Sometimes, and they even call it the 16-8 diet. But you're going to eat for 8 hours, and a lot of people, to entice you to do this diet, they'll say eat whatever you want, and that's not really a good philosophy, because you want to be putting good nutrients, less chemical laden nutrients in your diet, maybe less meat. Oh no, because I did vegetarianism for a while, and now I've kind of moved away from that, which I'll do another video about that as well, so be looking for that. And obviously click and subscribe to my videos. We've got over 100 subscribers now. You could be one too. So, but intermittent fasting, there's 8 hours you're going to be eating. I usually start at 10 o'clock. That's as long as I can wait. Like right now, I've got an hour and 15 minutes. And man, I am looking at, if you want to pre-program what you're going to be doing when you're on your fasting, you're going to be looking at that clock. I usually drink water during this time, maybe lemon water. Just to continue the fast. I might do a couple of cups of coffee. But until 10 o'clock, I don't eat. My wife tried it. She had headaches. She couldn't do it. She's like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. So basically, it's a 16-8. Starting at 10 o'clock till 6, you're gonna eat. At 6 o'clock, you're gonna stop. That also means no midnight snacking. And I think that's a key too, is no snacking after 6 o'clock. Your body will thank you. I got on the treadmill yesterday, and you don't even have to work out really on this diet. Maybe some mild walking, maybe a little bit of jumping jacks or something before 10 o'clock. It just helps kind of speed the metabolism and burn a little bit more. But I got on the treadmill yesterday, no joint pain whatsoever. And I'm, as they say, on the wrong side of 40. I think I heard Queen Latifah or somebody say that. I just thought that was hilarious. Some talk show where they were just being funny. But I got on the treadmill yesterday, not minimal joint pain. I loved it. I did 40 minutes of cardio. So that's number one, is how does intermittent fasting work? It's a 16-8 diet basically. On 8 hours, off 16. 8 of those 16 you're going to be sleeping, hopefully sleeping well. Number two is, why should you do it? For one, you're going to lose weight. You're going to lose weight. It's more of a psychological diet to me than it is actually a physical thing, because you're not as focused and you're not as hungry as you think you're going to be. It does take a bit of mental toughness in the beginning, because you're just so out of your element, and it's going to be a bit extreme in the beginning. So all you can do is get on that bike and ride and give it a shot. I'm going to post some before and after pictures to show you what I actually looked like before I started, and man, I was not happy. And what I look like, and even when I'm losing weight, I look a little bit leaner, because it's really good to burn that fat out. And for men, the gut, subcutaneous gut fat is tremendous, and it gets in your jowls, as they say, your chin. You get 2 or 3 double chins going on. So I actually post real before and after pictures. Number 4 is what to eat when. And in that 8-hour period, I'll eat oatmeal in the morning, which is really good for you. Got a lot of nutrients. Keeps that blood sugar from spiking. So make that 8 hours count. Make it more than just, I can have this dessert or that dessert. It's not going to affect me as much. Your job for doing this diet is to lose weight. That's why you're doing it. So oatmeal in the morning. For lunch, I usually have a salad, and I pile lots of veggies and different stuff. You can do, some beans, maybe some lentils. That's another good source of protein. You want to get your protein in. That's kind of where I went wrong on the vegetarian diet. I wasn't getting enough protein, and I've been there. I've done it. I've experimented. I'll continue to experiment. I've actually gone out and tried these things, and I've had days where, wow, it didn't feel like I wanted to get out of bed. So eat lots of natural proteins. Lessen down the chemicals, because I think that does something to your body when it's trying to figure out what way it's going to go to to lose weight. Artificial sweeteners, all those things, get rid of that stuff. It's just no good for nobody except for the food purveyors who are using those ways of making the food to make more profit and continue selling you more chemicals. Number 4, we actually just kind of got into a little bit what to eat and when. 5, another thing to get into with the dieting and losing weight is what is the awareness of your body. You know, what are you feeling? Where are you feeling it at? Why do you think you're feeling it at? You know, fasting is good for the body, and it's been proven to create this elasticity of youthfulness almost. And like for instance, when I got up this morning, my lower back was hurting, my stomach just felt kind of tight in the lower hip area, you know, so I might stretch that area out. Your goal is to make yourself feel good while you're doing this. Fasting, usually in the final hour, the 16th hour of no food for me, my mind just has this mental acuity. So I kind of like that pump. You know, it makes me not want to go eat because I know the food is going to kind of change my metabolism a little bit. So these are things that definitely to get into and enjoy and watch that weight peel off. When I got back from vacation, 251 was my actual weight, and I was very unhappy. So I always know I can get back on the fast and I can get that weight off. I've got about 10 more I want to get down to, and then from there I'm going to set goals and see how far I can get down. From there, I'm 6'3", you know, so I carry a little bit of bulkiness around, but I'd like to carry a little bit of leanness. So I hope these things will help you guys. You can email me bransonrealtor1@yahoo.com if you'd like. Click subscribe and like my pages, and keep looking for more videos on how to lose weight.
All right, how's everybody today? I wanted to do a quick, what I call the 8-hour diet workout, which is something I've developed to use with my fasting 2 or 3 days a week, and just some ideas on some easy exercises, because when your body's in that fasting mode, it makes it kind of challenging to kind of have the energy to work out, and it's counterintuitive to the way your mind flows. If you get up and you haven't eaten and you're trying to maybe have some black coffee, start your water regimen, it's counterproductive to the way your body thinks. It doesn't think, okay, I'm going to go on a light jog here, or I'm going to work out, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or you're definitely not going to do 100 burpees. I mean, that's definitely part of the process that you're going to X out. You're not going to do 100 burpees. You might do 10 though. You might do 10 squats. Squats are a real easy exercise. 10 sit-ups. You're getting a little more into the body's mechanics and different things. Probably not going to do sit-ups. Your body's not warmed up. Your back's hurting. You know, sit-ups to me tend to hurt your back, or any kind of abdominal exercises at times. But squats are good. Burpees are good to get that metabolism going. Make sure you've started your water. You know, put your mind at ease as there's steps, because you learn a lot about yourself when you're not eating the way you used to. But in order to lose your weight and start to trim down, you've got to do things you've never done, because what you've been doing is not working. So the first thing you need to do to lose some weight is to change the way you're doing things, and one way to do that is the 8-hour diet. So you get up in the morning, say it's 6:30, 6 o'clock, you know, fill you up a big tall glass of water, put a little lemon in there, maybe some lime, and drink that whole thing. Maybe about 7 you're getting warmed up. Maybe go over and do 10 jump burpees, or 10 just standard burpees where you don't add the jump after, and do maybe some squats. Squats are really good. I don't get a lot out of squats. Maybe I'm not doing them right. Maybe add just a little bit of weight, but then don't go that much further. Maybe do 100 jumping jacks. Maybe, you know, just keep it really easy and real light. Maybe do a stretching workout, maybe some yoga planks, something to get just for the whole body. You're not going to go do a biceps workout when you're trying to lose weight. You want to just engage the whole body. And then go back to your water, stay away from the sugar, stay away from the chemicals, the things that you might do lightly before the 10 o'clock mark. And then when the 10 o'clock mark comes, in between 10 o'clock and 6, again, make a schedule and eat the types of foods that you think your body would benefit from. Lots of fruits, apples, carrots, grapes, maybe put a smoothie together. Maybe make some oatmeal and put some peanut butter over the top and put some blueberries or blackberries or something in the oatmeal. My wife does a thing where she melts the blueberries for me and then drapes them across the oatmeal. I mean, make it good, but oatmeal is really good for regulating the blood sugars and not making any highs and lows, and it takes a little while to digest that oatmeal. I mean, in between 10 and 6, and then, maybe cheat a little bit, but don't go overboard. The first year that I became a vegetarian, I thought as long as I stayed away from the meat, I was doing great. Well, you trade the hormones in the chicken and the beef and all that stuff for a whole nother set of chemicals, and it's all man-made. So in between that 10 and 6 mark, make sure that the nutrients you're taking in, and that's a big thing this week for me in my blogs, is make sure the nutrients you're bringing in are quality nutrients, as much organic as you can do, as much natural as you can do. And after 40, the body is just a whole different mechanism. After 30, in your 20s, you could eat, salads and different things, and man, you'd really feel that pop the next day. Now it's kind of a hit or miss for me. It's tough to get rid of the gut, and the 8-hour diet's a good way to do that. Based on genetics, certain areas people are going to grow, their biceps, their chest area, their shoulders, but boom, when that gut comes along and you seem to be hanging on to that belly fat in the gut, I've found the 8-hour diet is really what reduces that. So again, just some more ideas of things you can do between your 10 and 6 and before you start your 10 and 6 on the 8-hour diet, is to, and again, hydrate. If nighttime's not working for you on the hydration and you're having to get up and go to the bathroom 1,000 times, one thing I noticed when I got hydrated again after my kidney stones, which are some different videos that I have, I noticed that I didn't have to get up anymore and go to the bathroom. My body wasn't dehydrated. So for me, I found getting up and going to the bathroom just wasn't, something. But I guess that's a whole nother video on how not to get up in the middle of the night for guys and have to go to the bathroom, and maybe improve your prostate and your sex life and all those great things. So again, this isn't to replace anything, advice that you get from your doctor, but these are practical things that I've been working on that are working. So why not give it a shot and see if it'll work for you? Have a great day. All right, what is the keto diet, ketogenesis, some new terms that I came across. A few weeks ago, I just decided I was going to try this thing, and basically it's the lowering of the carbs in your diet and eating good fats, best fats you can find, so that your body begins to turn its energy sources around and starts feeding on its fat instead of sugars, and that insulin switch begins to quit going up and down like an elevator every time you turn around, because it's trying to process a high carb diet. I read some articles, fixing to get into some books on the keto diet, and there's a lot of things to learn. The first day I was on it, I noticed a lot of energy, and my body quit kind of roller coastering between the carbs. If you've seen my other videos, the 8-hour diet and different videos and stuff like that, I'm just a big proponent of trying things until you find something that works. Or if you're a diet changer and you've got to keep changing your diets because you hit a plateau on some diets. On the 8-hour diet, you eat between 10 and 6. On intermittent fasting, you're not eating between a certain time and picking it back up again on another time, usually for about a 16-hour period. Your body begins to burn the excess fat because it doesn't have those carbs or food to eat. On the keto diet, I'm going to get it right before the video is over, I promise. You begin to lower those carbs to where your body goes into ketosis, and it starts to eat the fat away in your body, and you begin to lose weight. I've lost 8 pounds so far. I always tend to teeter between 240 and 250, and when I want to get down, I'll try a new diet. I've lost 8 pounds so far, so and I've seen incredible energy level spikes, just feeling better all the way around. My stomach pain went, my immune system began to boost, and I stopped having certain problems. In the morning I eat scrambled eggs, maybe a little bit of bacon, turkey bacon. For lunch I've been having salmon. You can get these great packs from Sam's. It has the spices and everything. You can even put it in the microwave if you need to. Mainly cutting the candy bars and all the sugary kind of stuff out, and doing some sugar-free options, which I don't really recommend that, but if you've got a sweet tooth, one way you can entertain that sweet tooth is by maybe some sugar-free options. They've still got carbs in there, you've got to check it, but at least you're not getting the carbs from sugar. So the weight begins to come off pretty fast. You know, this helps fight diabetes and stroke and heart disease, and it mirrors a lot of the health benefits of the 8-hour diet. I just think with all these diets and ways of eating, your body kind of hits a plateau and it stops losing weight at some point. So you want to stay on this for about 2 weeks, and there's a little test you can take at the pharmacy where it'll show that your body is using fat instead of sugar to burn, is its energy source. And also, when I'm on this diet, I notice when I work out I've got a lot more energy, and I can run for a lot longer periods of time, which means, hello, losing more weight. So it's definitely a diet that's worth checking out, but it's also a way of life, a way of eating, and you just got to get out there, and what it says in the end is you've got to lower the sugar. And I've got several videos about how to lose weight and your relationship to sugar, several videos on the 8-hour diet, and there'll be future videos on this subject as well, so get in there and check it out and get started. You're going to be feeling really good really soon. Thanks for listening, and check out my website, LeeFranksmarketing.com, and BransonIsFun.com. Thank you. Alright, just wanted to do a quick video about some dieting tips I've gotten, and what to do when you get off your diet. And I'm a big fan, as you know, of the 8-hour diet, which is fantastic. But I think what people are missing is they're just reading the label 8-hour diet or warrior diet or intermittent fasting. And one thing I'm going to try and report on here is I want to do a fast where I go longer than the 12-hour period and see how far I can get into it and see if my body would actually burn more fat that way and kind of plateau me and start me in a new direction. But I think there's a couple of things that people are missing. One is drink more water, period, all the time. Sometimes late at night, drinking more water is kind of tough. It leaves you kind of bloated. So contrast the amount of water that you're taking in versus the regular food you're eating. You know, some foods, dairy, wheat, gluten, anything that kind of bloats you out, you know, lots of toxic foods are an interesting combo to see how the water flushes those toxins and wheat and gluten, all that stuff out of your system. Or if it's leaving you very full, you know, maybe the evening time isn't the right time to drink the water, but definitely in the morning. I got a really tall glass sitting around here, and I put a little bit of lemon in there, and that seems to work well for the 8-hour diet, warrior diet, intermittent fasting, whatever you want, whatever label you want to call it. And I do that every day because they say that the cooking oils we use line the lining of the intestines and need to be cleaned out, and that those cooking oils cause certain diseases. They're also saying that fasting or intermittent fasting can virtually reset your immune system. And you know, I've kind of found that to be true for me. That's one thing I've noticed, is that it can reset the immune system. And if you have any diabetes or anything like that, that might be something you want to consider. They also say that intermittent fasting is fantastic for diabetes. So stroke, heart disease, arteriosclerosis, all that stuff. So, it might be something you want to try. What I usually do is I finish eating about 6 o'clock on the days that I'm doing it. And then I don't eat again until about 10 a.m. the next morning, or have some black coffee before 10 a.m. to kind of get the system going, get the metabolism going. And then do some exercises, maybe 10 burpees, 10 sit-ups, 10 push-ups, boost that metabolism. I have yet to do the exercises, but usually when I'm getting 2 to 4 pounds heavier, I'll go on a intermittent fast a little bit, and man, the pounds start to come down. And then you take that parentheses that is that 12 hours of eating, and you eat good quality solid food, lentils, beans, vegetables, fruit. Eat the fruit in the morning so the fiber can coat your system and help move things along. But these are a couple of things you can do for all these diets. And if you find yourself getting a little heavy and you're 2 to 4 pounds up, do an intermittent fast, and of course go at your own pace. And if you need to go see your doctor, by all means go see your doctor and figure out what diet's best for you. That's my note for today, and you guys have a great weekend. Something I do when I'm running to help my mind remember exactly what lap I'm on, because running's a real kind of emotional thing for me, and your body goes through a lot of processes, but you want to always keep track of your workout. So I'm out here at Cedar Ridge, which is a school here in Branson. Just let you guys take a look here, and I'm fixing to start my run. So you notice here there's 6 lanes here. Let me show you. Here's lane 1. It goes all the way down to 8 lanes. And I usually do about 2 miles. So I'll start in this lane 1 here and make my way around a warm-up lap. And then I'll start on 2 just before I get there. And that just gives my mind something a little bit less to focus on while I'm running, and my hormones and all those things that are happening, and your body starts to kind of detox itself a little bit while it's running. Gives me a little time to just be on automatic pilot, think about the week, think about different things that are going on, and give myself a little bit of a break. I even put my music in my phone, so as you can see, the headset, I just plug it in and turn the music on, listen to a little Amazon or whatever album I got, in the last week or whatever, self-help tape, and I just take it easy. And by the time I'm all the way to number 8, which is down here, as you can see, you may not be seeing anything. You may be seeing me. So, because I can't get this thing to turn around. Anyway, that's basically how it goes. I just do 1 through 8. Let's look over my shoulder. How about that? Anyway, I start on 1, I go all the way down to 8. Man, you'll burn some massive calories. And anyway, I might need to learn how to use a video camera. Hi, this is Lee. I wanted to do a follow-up to the 8-hour diet. We've had almost 4,000 hits on there, and tons of questions, tons of people asking about it. And it's just something that, I've used to great effect. If you'll look, my chin, if you'll compare it to that video, has really started to slim up. I don't have quite that. I've gained more muscle. I've lost more fat. I've lost quite a bit of weight. 15 pounds total is what I've lost doing the 8-hour diet. So I just put together 5 steps to kind of encourage people and kind of give them a little more instruction. Again, the 8-hour diet's great for losing weight, controlling diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, heart disease, because you're eating within an 8-hour period, and you're giving your body the hours after that to kind of level and lower things out. Again, the book is the 8-hour diet. It's fantastic. But I learned a couple of things along the way I wanted to share with you. Make sure the food you're eating between the 8-hour period is healthy food. And whatever that means for you. If, I'm a vegetarian, I don't eat any meat. Occasionally I might have some, but when I've gone back, it just doesn't really taste right anymore. So whatever your diet may be, if it's, good healthy carbs, good healthy protein, low sugars, maybe get off the soda pop, those might be some considerations to get involved with. So make sure the food you're eating between 10 and 6 is the best. And the hardest hours to go without eating is before 10 o'clock and after 6. I know it's a no-brainer, but that's when the spirits start to come in. And at night, it seems like after 6, it's dessert time. The desserts want to come in. In the morning, it's that cup of coffee. And you can't have that black cup of coffee before 10. Just make sure there's no sugar or anything so your body can kind of burn those sugar reserves. Because if your body is burning that glucose and those sugar reserves out, that kind of stuff doesn't have time to wreak havoc in your body. And that's what you want. Because I was watching Dr. Oz a couple of months ago, and he said there's no such thing as good sugar. So, and I think he's absolutely right. Sugar just damages the system, the stomach lining, everything. So, throw it out. Number 2, eat from 10 to 6. Have some cheat days in there, but, say make it Monday through Friday. Eat from 10 to 6. Cheat on the weekend. Come back again on that Monday. Wash yourself of all these things. Clear them out. Start all over again. Eat from 10 to 6. Drink plenty of water. Drink it. You're flushing this stuff out of your system. You're kind of detoxing in a way because your body has time to get to all that stuff. You're going to sleep better than ever. Sometimes you'll have way too much energy before you go to bed. And that's just because your body is creating fuel for energy now instead of for sluggishness and disease and all these things that just aren't doing you any good. Work out between 10 and 6, because if you work out in the morning, your body's going to be just calorie starved. You're going to probably have a headache before 10 o'clock. You're not going to work out. You're not going to do your best workouts. 10 o'clock, eat breakfast, 10 a.m. 11:30, do your snack. After 11:30, work out. You're going to burn even more fat, more calories, build more muscle. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better. There's a HIIT program I'm going to include in one of my next videos that you can use with the 8-hour diet that I used. And it was just amazing by 6 o'clock that afternoon how much you had burned. And maybe Fridays can be your barometer where you're checking to see, hey, how much did I burn today? How much did I lose this week? So get excited. And I would say in the beginning when you're getting those headaches before 10 o'clock, because it does take a while before you start to get used to that, use your method. Put a hot compress maybe on your head or the back of your neck to kind of help with those headaches. And again, I've lost 15 pounds and kept it off on this 8-hour diet. I was 250 pounds, and now I'm about 234, 235 is what I keep it around, and I'm over 40. So you guys out there that are over 40 know it's a battle. I mean, and food can confuse you. So, you think you're doing the right things, and then suddenly those pounds start to kind of skyrocket up. So get out there and continue to use the 8-hour diet.